everybody, it's Suzanne with Sunny Forest Tarot here to do a little evening reading for you. I did the feminine reading earlier today, and this is for the masculine. Okay, so we're going to look at the masculine's energy. This is this is a longer reading, okay, and so I would say, try to stick with it because a lot of things come out, a lot of patterns come out. So, if you don't have the time right now, I would say hold off on this particular reading until you do have the time. So we're going to take a look at what's going on with the masculine. This is for all zodiacs. This is for the collective. And we'll see what's happening, okay? So I'm going to be using a lot of my decks today. I enjoy using my decks. I put a lot of work into my decks. I don't sell my decks as of right now. At one point I thought I was going to, but it just never feels like the right time, and with the last year, with everything that's been going on in the world, it's just not the right time, and that's perfectly okay with me. The fun of it is for me to make the decks, and I've had people criticize me for my decks, say that they hate them. I don't even understand that. It's like, what is there to really hate? I do all of my own artwork. I do all of my own photography, all of that, because I enjoy doing it. It doesn't mean that people shouldn't purchase their photographs or, however they do their cards. It doesn't matter to me. I just happen to enjoy making them myself. So, I don't know why that's coming out, but it's probably because I'm using a lot of my decks in this particular reading, and I use them periodically in personal readings as well. They all have meaning to me. They all come from my heart, and so yeah, I enjoy using them. So anyway, so that's what we're going to do today. And this is a masculine reading. Again, I've got a lot of my cards set out, ready to go. I'm going to use the same format that I use for the feminine reading. And we're just going to see what comes out for the masculine. I don't have any questions prepared for this. I let spirit dictate these types of readings, and whatever comes out, comes out. Some things might resonate really, quite a bit. Some might not. That's okay. I am going to challenge you, though, if something triggers you, okay? Because I've seen that a lot lately. I've seen people very triggered, and, when that happens, I want you to know that there is light in that. Whatever is triggering you, there is light in that. Even though it might feel somewhat dark, or it might feel, maybe not good in the moment. Usually people are triggered because they hear something factual that takes them out of their hope. And that, I don't want anyone to lose hope for what it is that they want, okay? That's not the goal. But there might be something in that trigger that makes you see something or look at something in a different way. Because sometimes we get so focused on how we're looking at a situation that we can't see beyond, what might really be going on. So think about it that way, that it might be alerting you to something that it might be alerting you to something that's happening that's better than you think. Because if you are thinking negatively about something, then that's what you're going to see. Okay? And it says try to look at it from a different perspective. Okay? All right, so let's get into the masculine here. We're going to start with this card. This is the main card that we're going to go back to for the entire reading. So let's see what we have here. Connection to the universe. Awesome. Okay, so the masculine in this particular reading, the number 47 breaks down to the number 11. So those of you that feel like you have, specific soul connections, soulmate connections, or twin flame connections, this reading might really resonate with you. This particular masculine, they may be much more connected and aligned than they have been in the past. They might be much more aligned to their higher self, your higher self, okay, than they have been in the past. All right, so let's see what we have here. All right, so we have, look at this, the chain, tied up, attached to a belief, and assumptions made. So I almost feel like this, whatever this particular masculine might have been tied up in, or they might have been attached to a certain belief, or made certain assumptions, because, assumptions, 50% of the time are wrong. I feel like this, whatever they've been chained to, has caused them to possibly awaken spiritually. I feel like this is past energy. It's in the past energy spot. So it's like the chain has been broken in some way for this masculine. So whatever beliefs they have been attached to, or you have been attached to, depending on who is watching here, whatever assumptions that have been made, or assumptions you have made as the masculine, I feel like you're looking at things in a different way, and that's interesting. So what do we have here? We have, very smitten, flirtatious, respectful. I love this energy. I love this. If this is your energy towards somebody, God bless you. All right. If you're very smitten with somebody, if you're being flirtatious and at the same time respectful, I love that. Okay. If that's you as the masculine, if you have a particular masculine in mind, it feels like the energy has shifted in some way for this particular masculine that we're taking a look at here today. This masculine is very smitten with you, might be a little flirtatious, or might be, working up to that energy. Respectful is huge. Respect is everything in any relationship, right? If there's no respect, there's really no relationship. And I know some of you, share these terrible stories that you've gone through. For those of you that are feminines that have really put all of your trust and faith and hope into a particular person, and they continually disappoint you, that's a hard thing. That's hard on your heart, right? I don't judge you, when you put in the comments, about how you are done with this person, or they hurt you, or they've deceived you, or they've been in a third party, and then they continually come back to you. And this is where I challenge you, as if you are a feminine, but also if you're a masculine too, to really look at why you might have stayed in that type of connection, because it really is a reflection on how you feel about yourself. You have to have that respectful energy for yourself to draw in a respectful connection. All right. So let's see what this is all about. We're going to use this deck here. This is the Raw Ego Speaks deck. We're going to pull one of these cards and then we're going to also use this particular deck here. The Soulmate Blocks and Flow. All right, and let's see what energy we get here. Let's start here. Okay, so we have, when opportunity knocks, I tend to shut the door. So, are you the person knocking on this person's door, or are you the person that tends to shut the door? Either way, you know, you can tie this back to something within yourself. And this is why I call this deck the Raw Ego Speaks. It's pretty raw. You know, it's like, do I really want to face the fact that when an opportunity knocks, I shut the door on it? Did you shut the door on a particular feminine? You know, and if you're a feminine, if somebody shut the door on you or rejected you, generally speaking, you know, it's more about the person that shut the door a lot of times. You know, in some instances, so some of you know that I'm trying to break Boogie of a lot of his barking. He doesn't have his collar on right now. Hey, Barney. Hey, hey, hey. You guys. So, let's see. Is somebody here? Because all right. Hold on 1 second, guys. Barney, no, you're not coming. What's the matter? What's the matter? Huh? What's the matter? Oh, cool guys here. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's why. All right, we understand now. The pool guy's here. Yeah. All right. So that's the source of the barking. The pool guys are here. We have the lawn guys. We have the mailmen. We have the pool guys. What can you do? All right. So we've talked about this. Let's take a look at these cards here for masculine. We have distance across the state. All right, so there might be distance between you and a particular feminine. It could be across the state. It could be across the country. It could be, you know, whatever the case may be. That might be or has been a challenge when it comes to this particular feminine. What do we have here? We have in the public eye somehow. Okay. Now, I will say that for a lot of you that this probably isn't going to apply. And this would be a case where, you know, you would just disregard this portion of the reading. Because I'm going to clarify all of the cards with tarot after everything is laid out. But this particular masculine, if this is you, you know, you might be in the public eye somehow. How might you be in the public eye? You know, you might be You might be on TV. Okay, you might be in politics. That would be a big deal these days. You might be kind of very visible in your community. You might be part of a family that happens to be very well known. All right. So I feel like, for the masculine, distance has been an issue, and in some way, for some masculines, being in the public eye, in some way, you yourself might be on TV, you might be on YouTube, you might be, you might be in government in some way. This could be speaking to, why in the past, you have felt chained to something. You might feel chained to a person. You might feel chained to a specific role. Okay. And you might feel very tied up where you struggle to move forward in this connection. So when opportunity knocks, you tend to shut the door. Okay? Yeah, so that's what I'm picking up from that. So let's move on to this right here. My blue cards. I love these cards. These are my memorable moments cards. All right, so we have 1, 2, 3. Okay, great. So let's see what we have here. Let's look at the middle card first. Material wants. It's interesting because in some way, actually in kind of a big way, this came up in the feminine reading as well. So in some way, material wants are very important to you. And then we have who. Okay, so what could that possibly mean? That could easily mean that you might be looking at more than one individual as far as romance and love. Somebody might be standing out to you. The person that, you might have challenge with here, you might say, well, this person is across the state. This person is far away from me. This person is across the country. I'm in the public eye. Or maybe your feminine in some way is in the public eye. It just makes it very difficult in some way to be together. So I have to ask myself, as the masculine, who is it that I really need to be with? Who is it that I should be with? Where does my heart really fall in this situation? Okay. Let's see what else we have here. And then we look at that, money. This is the theme today. Material wants and money. So, you might be saying to yourself, is this feminine who I really want? Or is this feminine somebody that, struggles with money in her own situation and they only want me for my money? This could be that you realize that a particular feminine is focused on material wants. You might be questioning a feminine because of that, because of money. You might be, when we look at the chain, when we go back up here, You may be tied up because of material wants and money yourself. However, we go back to this. You are very smitten. You are potentially flirtatious right now, or you want to be. And at the same time, you want a respectful connection. If this connection in some way has been disrespectful in the past, I feel like you want to correct that. So let's see what we have here. You know, material wants and money came up in a different way for the feminine, but it was definitely present. It was definitely there. And if you've been watching my readings for any length of time, you know, I don't really go there very often as far as money goes. All right, so let's see. This could provide some light. Let's look at this card first. Interesting. So we have the intuitive card. You might be tapping more into your intuition than you ever have before. You can see it says extrasensory, sensitive, insightful. You might be feeling things. You might be tapping into that energy. You might be connecting to the universe in a way that you haven't in the past. I love this energy for you. You know, this can be typically a much more feminine energy. Typically, feminines are much more in tune with their intuition, as you probably know, because you guys tend to be more logical, okay, more practical, looking at it from that standpoint. So I love that energy for you. What do we have here? We have, look at that. I dream of you and it feels so real. This could be your feminine speaking to you. And truthfully, if this card resonates with you, it's because you are dreaming about your feminine. And that could be tuning you in to your intuitive energy and making your intuitive energy much stronger. And that might be why you feel more connected to the universe. Why you're allowing yourself and realizing, possibly through dreams, that you know that there is, like, you want to fall into this energy. You know, you want this to be a little bit more innocent. You want to be smitten. You want to fall in love, is what it feels like to me. Okay? So money, distance, being in the public eye, all of these things that are very 3D seem to be a challenge for you and your particular feminine. Let's see what we have here. All right, so we have the green here. This is my chakra wisdom deck. This is saying, this is coming from a place of love. This is the heart chakra, okay? And this person is saying, you know, I love what your eyes say when you look at me. That could be your feminine speaking to you. This might be your feminine, you know, what your feminine picks up from you. Okay, so there's something about your eyes when it comes to your particular feminine, you know, that I feel like they respond to. They love what your eyes say when you look at them. All right. And, you know, what's really interesting here is we definitely have a theme and color here. It's always interesting to me, you know, how colors almost show up as a pattern in these readings that I use with my own cards. It's just a personal observation that I'm making here. But yeah, a lot of pink. And pink and green are about the heart chakra. Okay, so There's a lot of pink and green here. It feels like you are much more as the masculine. You definitely feel more connected to the universe. You definitely feel more connective and intuitive around your heart chakra, which I actually love seeing that. All right, so let's see what we have here. And then we're going to look at the tarot. Okay, so let's see. Let's take a look at this card first. What do we have? Look at this. Divine timing insurance is given through problems and delays. So, divine timing insurance, what is that? It's like divine timing is saying you have to trust it. I'll tell you, I pick the worst time sometimes. All I can hear is the dogs barking. Barney. Oh my God. All right, so anyway, the problems and delays that we're seeing here, okay, very easily could not be an accident, all right? And this might be good information for your feminine, because it feels like the two of you have, faced a lot of challenges and difficulties and problems, which, are showing up as delays. But the insurance basically is that divine timing is at work here. So if something hasn't shown up, it's because, we have to trust the universe. You have to trust the universe. If somebody hasn't shown up in your life yet, it's because divine timing is at work. Whether it's the person that you're thinking of or it's somebody else, all right? And that's true for the feminine as well. Let's see what we have here. You realize now that you are never alone. And that is speaking to you, I feel like, really connecting more so with the universe, feeling this kind of retro energy of being very smitten, falling in love, perhaps, with your feminine, dreaming, about your feminine. If you happen to be in separation, you realize that you are never alone, because you're not only in this particular 3D dimension, you spend time in other dimensions, whether you realize it or not. And you have the support of the universe, whether you realize it or not. The universe has your back. That's why divine timing is showing up here. What do we have here? A major transition in your life is a blessing. In the feminine reading, a blessing came up as well. So, a major transition in your life is a blessing. It might feel challenging in this particular life, but it is actually a blessing. Believe it or not, the long guys have shown up with the pool guys. The long guys are here too. So, talk about bad timing. And there's nothing divine about it. They're just all here at the same time, and it's pissing me off. All right. Okay, so let's take a look. What do we have here? When opportunity knocks, I tend to shut the door. All right, so let's take a look at that first. Along with divine timing, insurance is given through problems and delays. You might create the problems and delays, okay? Unwittingly, possibly, or maybe knowingly. So let's see. What do we have here? Page of Swords. Okay. So Page of Swords, this is about you. You might tend to shut the door because you might not trust what you're seeing. You might have to seek out information. You might have to talk to other people. You don't trust yourself completely when it comes to your feminine, when it comes to, what might be going on with you. You don't completely trust it. You're being opened up to your intuition a little bit more, and it might feel uncomfortable to you. You may not be used to it. So you seek out the opinions of other people. You might be searching online for answers, especially when it comes to your connection to the universe. Okay, because I feel like in the past you've been very tied up. You've been attached to certain beliefs. You've made assumptions. All of this has happened more than likely because of a situation that is happening for you in the 3D world. All right, so what do we have here? Divine timing insurance is given through problems and delays. The Fool. So what is the Fool about? In the upright, it's about trusting the universe, trusting the unknown, making a fool of yourself for love, right? Very smitten, flirtatious, respectful. I'm gonna kill them. I'm gonna kill them. All right? I'm gonna kill them. I don't really get angry at them. It's not their fault, but it's so annoying to have to try to talk over them. Oh. Hey, you want to go in your house? You want to go in your house? Yeah, I think you're gonna. Yeah, you're annoying me. Yeah, enough. Enough. Yeah, they come every week. Come on. You should know them by now. You should know them. Yeah, you're going in your house. Pebbles, you're next. All right, Pebbly Poo. You're next. You're next. Come here. Oh. Come here. Don't you know these guys by now? Huh? All right. That's it. Ay, ay, ay. It was the perfect storm today, right, Byron? Yeah. Oy, oy, oy. Okay. All right, so sorry about that. It was driving me absolutely bonkers. All right, so Page of Swords. I feel like you don't necessarily trust the opportunities that are presented to you. It might feel too good to be true. And that's where your intuition, I feel like, is trying to kick in, but you may not be allowing it. All right, so let's see. I want to look at who. All right, and I want to look at material wants and money. Nine of Pentacles. All right, so I feel like what this is saying here is Nine of Pentacles is about being very comfortable in your own skin. You want a feminine that is very comfortable in her own skin, who can take care of herself, who has her own pentacles. She may not have to have, you know, $1 million in the bank, okay? But you want somebody that is very comfortable in her own skin and knows what she wants and, you know, is able to be independent. The person for you, for the masculine in this particular case, is somebody that can at least take care of herself in a comfortable fashion, okay? If you are a feminine watching this, if this is something that you struggle with, now we saw that potentially for some in the feminine reading, okay? It just means that it's something that you are working on. It doesn't mean that it involves a rejection because that you are working on something, okay? It feels like from the feminine perspective, this is something that you are working towards. If this is something you already have, great, okay? But different people learn lessons at different times. Let's see, material wants. We have the Knight of Swords in the reverse. All right. As far as material wants, whether this is your feminine or this is you, it feels like the two of you are out of alignment right now. So you might be dealing with a feminine that's working towards becoming Nine of Pentacles. You know, you yourself might be out of alignment as far as what you want, what you buy, and what you can afford, okay? You know, I know for the masculine, it can be very important to be financially stable. You might have given the impression to a particular feminine that you are more financially stable than you are. And that happens more than you think. Or a feminine in your life might have given the impression that she is more financially stable than she is. The truth is that you're probably more similar than you think between the two of you, okay? What do we have here around money? All right, so we have the King of Swords in the reverse. Okay, so there's something around money that is very, very touchy for you. Very touchy. And I want to get one more card there for you. And we have the Magician, okay? So how you think about money, you might really need to look at, okay? Whether it applies to your feminine or whether it applies to you. Yeah, they're right outside the window, aren't they, Bern? Bad timing. You know, if you are looking at money as being hard to accumulate or hard to achieve or hard to keep, that is a way of thinking that you definitely want to look at really closely, because that energy comes from an energy of lack. You know, you might close the door on opportunities because you might feel like you don't have enough to offer or enough to give. Or you might feel that your particular feminine struggles in this area. Honestly, I feel like you both do based on these readings today. And a lot of people do, but this seems to be a very taboo subject or a very taboo topic that people tend to keep hidden and secretive, okay? But I will share a little statistic with you. I feel like I've said this before, but 70% of the population, at least in the United States, are one paycheck away from being in trouble financially. So it's much more common than you think. I want to give you that reassurance, not to give you an excuse, but to give you the reassurance that it's something that a lot of people are working through and struggling with, okay? So you might be somebody that is struggling with that. If you are not, then you might see your feminine as struggling with this, okay? All right, so let's see what else. Let's look up here. The chain and this particular card here. Very smitten. 10 of Swords. Okay, so I feel like you almost feel betrayed by how you have grown up looking at life. Because I feel like your eyes are opening to a new way of looking at life, a new way of connecting with the universe and to your intuition. You know, it feels like you've had blinders on for a good part of your life, and the blinders are going up and you're seeing things and feeling things that you have never felt before, possibly because of this particular feminine. All right, what do we have here? All right, so we have 2 of Wands in the reverse. So you don't really know if the feelings from the feminine are returned to you. You feel like you're going nowhere fast with the 2 of Wands in the reverse. Let's get one more there. Temperance. That's because you are out of balance. This came up for the feminine as well. We want to see where we're out of balance. We have the Chariot. So now the Chariot's coming up in the upright, so that means that where you're out of balance, it may be a new experience for you to want to follow your heart. This is card of Cancer. This is card of Sagittarius. You might be dealing with a Sag or a Cancer. Those are the only, or an Aries, okay? You're out of balance following your intuition. This is a new experience for you, okay? The love bug might have bitten you. You feel a little bit vulnerable. You want to move towards your heart's desire. Your emotion and passion might be a little bit out of whack here, and you just don't know if somebody, the feminine in particular, is going to respond to you the way you may want her to. All right. Okay, so let's look at the dreams and the intuition for you. And let's look at a major transition in your life is a blessing. Dreams. All right, so we have the Empress in the reverse. So this is Libra and Taurus. I feel like this particular feminine might be testing your resolve. Your resolve, you know, as far as being a masculine that is able to pursue this feminine in a very respectful way. The way the 2 of you, I feel like, dream about each other, it's very respectful, it's very loving, it feels great. How can we make that happen in the physical world? The intuition that you're feeling, we have the Star in the reverse. So when the Star, Barney, stop it. When the, hey, listen. Oh, man. When the star comes up in the reverse, star is card of Aquarius. I feel like your experience with your intuition is making you question whether you know what it is that you want. Your intuition is telling you one thing, okay? You know, your practical mind might be questioning everything, especially when it comes to money and finance, and whether or not your feminine is, you know, comfortable in her own skin, being on her own. All right. What your eyes say when you look at me. Knight of Pentacles. Slow and steady. I almost feel like time stops. Time stops. Your feminine feels like time stops when you look at her. Or him, depending on your situation. It's like a captured moment in time. Like it's almost like a photographic memory for your feminine, probably for you too. So if the two of you have been in each other's physical presence, I feel like eye contact has made a huge impression on both of you. That's where both of you have identified the connection as being very special between the two of you. So let's see what, let's look at distance across the state, being in the public eye. How does this affect things? And you realize that you are never alone. Distance across the state, we have 3 of Cups. Okay, so, you know, the two of you might be a little bit confused when it comes to where you're at in this circle of the 3 of Cups. I almost feel like this came up for the feminine as well. So it's like distance across the state really makes you look at the friendly portion of this connection, the love, and where is the peace in this connection, okay? Because this woman here represents friendship, this woman here in the red represents love, this woman in the white represents peace. You know, all very positive emotions, but I feel like you go around in a circle as to where you're at with your feminine. And then we have for in the public eye somehow, King of Cups. So, again, for a lot of you, this isn't going to apply. Your person may not be in the public eye, but if they are, I feel like it has forced you, the masculine, to keep your feelings very quiet. Okay, keep your feelings close to the vest. This can be unspoken love. Okay, so you might have held back your feelings, your love for the feminine because you are in the public eye somehow. Everything might become public about your life, what you do, who you're with, who you're around. You know, could be photographed, could be in social media, could be in the news. You know, that is a difficult situation for sure. You might have experienced, you know, some unpleasant things in the past because of it, and you might feel tied up, okay? And you might make assumptions about your feminine because you're in the public eye. Let's take a look down here. You realize now that you are never alone. Lovers in the reverse. So, I almost feel like a couple of things here. One, you know, when the lovers is in the reverse, Barney, be quiet. Hey! This is not the time of day to do this. That's why I don't do it in the afternoon. Hey. Yeah. Barn. Barney. You want to go in timeout? All right. I don't ever put him in timeout, just so you know. It's just a threat that I use, and he knows that that's not a good thing. Anyway, the Lovers in the reverse. You realize now that you are never alone. So whenever the Lovers comes up, just like the Two of Cups, the connection, the attraction, it's there. But there might be some complacency around this connection for all of the other things that are going on here for you. This might give, a lot of feminines some insight as far as what's going on with you. You might be, I feel like you have to, as the masculine, turn this card around, embrace this, be in your full masculine energy with this attraction, because you are feeling smitten, you are feeling flirtatious, and yet respectful. I love this energy here. And I feel like any connection or contact that you have with the feminine will slowly turn this Lover's card around. This is a little bit of complacency on your part, but it could be a little bit of fear as well. You're realizing that you're never alone. I feel like you might be going through some type of spiritual awakening. It's awakening your intuition. You're starting to feel things, dream things that might be a little bit confusing to you right now. The feminines are definitely more open to this energy over the masculines. And when the masculines start feeling it, it makes you want to research, want to confirm, want to look for facts, when it's really about being able to listen to your intuition as much as you don't want to hear that. Let's see. A major transition in your life is a blessing. Okay, so we're looking at the Queen of Cups in the reverse. Now, when this card is in the upright, it's the card of love from my perspective. Okay, Queen of Cups is love. This is card of Scorpio. When this card is in the reverse, I feel like it's a major transition in your life is a blessing when you wait something out. And I want to get one more card on that. Queen of Wands in the reverse. So we've got the Lovers in the reverse. We have the Queen of Wands in the reverse. That tells me what needs to change here. A major transition in your life. Finding your passion and running with it and trusting it. If you have a passion for this feminine, let it show. You might be hiding it, King of Cups. Okay? The feminine might see you as not knowing what you want, or feeling like you don't know what you want. I mean, we've got the Empress in the reverse. We have Queen of Wands in the reverse, Lovers in the reverse. This is all I feel about you really opening up to actually feminine energy. Intuition is feminine energy. And all of the feminine cards, okay, are in the reverse. So it's opening up to your intuition and your feminine energy, as we all have masculine and feminine energy. And I feel like your connection to the universe is saying that you have to open up to that feminine energy, your intuitive energy. And that helps you ultimately move forward, move towards your heart's desire, find more balance between your masculine and feminine energy. It allows you to be in this beautiful energy of being smitten, flirtatious, and respectful with your feminine. All right, so we're going to end this reading with just a couple of cards to see what's coming for you, the masculine. right, let's see. Wow. So this is the throat chakra. I say only what's true and best. If this is the energy that you're working towards, I think it's beautiful. And it's something that you should be proud of, because it's telling us that you're intuitively only going to speak the truth going forward when it comes to your feminine. And that brings you to this energy, which I love. What else do we have here? Disbelief, happiness, new information. Okay, so, you know, what do we have here? The chain. You know, we go back to the past for you. I feel like you have some lingering disbelief around when it comes to your intuition. Again, as you open up to your feminine intuitive energy, even if you're the most masculine, it's there. It ultimately brings happiness and information that you ultimately want to hear. And that, again, I feel like is speaking to this major transition in your life as a blessing. The transition is you opening up to your intuition. And that's what this reading has been about for you. All right? Beautiful. Which ultimately helps you connect to your feminine. When we go back to divine timing insurance is given through problems and delays. Problems and delays are showing up here, possibly from the feminine's perspective, possibly from your perspective, but it's because this is about you moving towards the unknown, the Fool, which is your intuitive energy. All right? All right, guys, that is what I have for you. I hope you enjoyed it. I know it's been a longer reading. Some of you like them. Some of you prefer the shorter readings. But I thought I would just take some time today and do kind of a big general reading for each, the feminine and the masculine. And it's interesting how they kind of go together. All right. So have a great night, and I will talk to you next time. All right. Thanks so much. Bye.